Greetings, fellow watchers and racers. Welcome back to a video where we did a race at Fuji International Speedway short in Group 4 cars. And this would have been last week. And I got a chance to race with a fellow viewer of the Z28 gaming channel, and that would be B-Buck13, who's in first place with the Scirroco. Your host, WRL Podium 13, is in second place with the RCZ. We've got, only 14 people on this particular grid, I think. Let's see. Yep, we got 14 people on this grid. 14 people on this grid. So sit back and relax. It's only about a 7-minute video, and that's a good looking livery right there. I actually like that. Wow. Look at Focus RSI and the FIA livery. That's not a bad looking livery right there. I like the way the colors look, that kind of cream on the front there. But here we go. The race has begun. We're coming down to turn number 1, and it's me trailing or stalking or following behind B-Buck, and we got Augustine coming up behind me. I think that's the Uruguay flag. I can't remember exactly. Those flags kind of remind me, because I can't tell the difference. You got the Uruguay flag and then you got the Argentinian flag. So I think that might be the Argentinian flag. I could be wrong. In P3, it might be the Argentinian flag. But B-Buck is coming down now through turn 3 as we're coming around turn 4. That big sweeping right-handed coming up to the left hand, down here going to the left, turn 5. And as we're coming through here, B-Buck is holding his own in the Scirroco. I'm just going to follow behind him right there and keep things interesting. Watch his lines, see what he's doing, talk about his parentage, question where he's from, wondering whether or not he's from, Earth or not. If he actually was born on this planet, because who knows? Who knows where some of these people are born? I mean, B-Buck. What kind of name is B-Buck? I wonder will B-Buck watch this video, because I see him often in Z28's channel. So we were racing today. It was actually pretty good. So now, here we come, and I've lost track of the turns. We got turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we're coming around turn 11, if I'm not mistaken. So if I'm not mistaken, this is an 11-turn track. Now here we are on the straightaway. I got a bit of a run on him, but I think I decided to stay right here in this back pocket. Not quite sure exactly what he was going to do. I don't know if he was going to try to protect or anything. As you can see, I'm all over him. I am all over his back door. As we move to the bonnet cam, all over his back door. Give him a little push right into the turn. I think I may have slowed down just a little bit later than he did. I broke a little bit later as we were coming into turn 1, going down the hill. Now we're coming up. Now see, that's what I'm saying. When I'm looking at some of these turns, I'm not quite sure exactly what considered a turn. Is that little sweep to the right there, is that actually considered a turn, or is this turn 2? And I always get confused. That's why I find myself thinking, you know what? I wish that they would put the turn numbers actually over the top of the turn, so you know exactly what is considered a turn. Because I don't always know what a turn is. But as we're coming down now, what turn 4? I think it is. This will be turn 4. Let's see. 1. If you call that, if you start at the beginning of the track, at the beginning of the race, and you're coming down to that first hairpin, it's basically a hairpin. That's turn 1. But then you see how the track angles? Is that considered turn 2? So that would be 1. That little right-handed turn right there would be turn 2. And then when you go back to the left, that's turn 3. That big sweeper is turn 4. Back to the left is turn 5. That little cut to the right is turn 6. Another cut to the right is turn 7. That little sharp right-hander 90-degree turn would be turn 8. Then you got turn 9. Now we will be on turn 10 coming into turn 11, right? Because this entire turn right here, this would be an entire turn. So it makes sense. So it still seems like I come out with either 11 turns on this track or 10. But from my eyes, it looks like it's 11 turns. But I'm still there behind B-Buck, and as we get inside the inside, we'll ride along. Let's ride along on the inside. And we'll play around with the camera. We're giving B-Buck a little push to stay with him as we look down in this on the inside of this car. It's kind of boring, not much going on in here. But now we're coming down to turn 1 again. It looks like I got myself a nice little run on B-Buck. But nope, he's still going pretty well as we come down to turn 1. As we're coming up now. Unless, of course, that was getting turn 2. But I think it's all just one turn. So it's probably just 10 turns. I'm going to have to go look and see exactly how many turns the game says this this track actually has. But coming around the track, you know, one of the things that would be pretty cool is if they actually had the kind of camera, one of the camera angles, or one of the camera features rather, like they have in project cars, where when you're going around the track and you can get inside the helmet or you can get inside the cockpit, and as you're coming around the turn, your head will turn like it would a normal car when you're coming into a turn. You get in there, and as you're going around the turn, right, you're inside the cockpit, and your head will turn with the car and stick with it, so you can actually see the turn. That way you could probably ride inside the cockpit a whole lot more. But I am stalking B-Buck, and he's holding his on up there in that first spot. Now here we're coming around turn 11 or either turn 10. However, the game decides that it wants to name these turns, and who knows, on this particular track they may actually have it where they actually have names. Like some of these particular sections of the track, they actually have names or sections of the names. So I decided to dive on the inside of B-Buck. He's coming down on my inside. He's on my outside over there. I dove it down to the inside. Now we move to the third person perspective. I have now made the move on B-Buck as we're coming down through turn 1. He's still staying on the outside, and I wonder if he's trying to do the cutback, which is exactly what it looked like he was doing. He did the cutback, and now he's a little bit there to my inside, but I still got the run on him, got a little bit of speed. It seems like as far as speed goes, I think the Scirroco may be just a little bit faster, maybe a little bit faster on the top end, but the RCZ is pretty fast too. I'm wondering if it's the RCZ that's faster on the top end, and I'm wondering if it's the Scirroco that actually is better in the turns, because it doesn't seem like the RCZ is as good in the turns like the Scirroco is. I think the Scirroco is a little bit better, but I think that the RCZ gets off the turns a little bit better because I think you can get the power. You get in the power in the Scirroco and it'll pull wide to you. It'll pull out. It'll understeer. It'll understeer and the car will pull wide. But in the RCZ, it actually seems like it does a little bit better. Here I am with the number 2 on my car, and we've got B-Buck stalking me now, and we're on the final lap, and it looked like we got ourselves some pretty good racing. We moved on to B-Buck's view, and we're on the bonnet cam. He's running up behind me, and here we come. He swung it to the outside, and I had to dive to the inside because I was going defensive. But the problem with going defensive on that particular turn is you don't get the best exit. And as you can see, I'm trying to block him. I tried to block him a little bit, and now here we come. Down the straights. You wonder who's gonna get it. Would it be me or B-Buck? It says I'm in second place, and bam! There you go. Across the line. B-Buck got me on the line. He got me on the line, and it was a pretty good race. And he got me because when I went defensive on that final turn, he swung in and then he swung out and got the better line. So when he came off that final turn, he had the best line for it, man. So, but that was a pretty good race right there, and it was pretty fun. That was a pretty fun race. So I hope you enjoyed it. This is WRL Podium 13. Me and B-Buck were going at it, and he pulled that nice little move on me in the last turn when I went defensive and got the win. So I hope you enjoyed that. This is WRL Podium 13 with a little video of a little fun race that we did at Fuji International Speedway, and I hope you enjoyed it. This is WRL Podium 13. I'm out.